Hey, Joanne, how are you? It's
Good
just you and me
morning.
today, huh?
Yes.
All right. It'll be a good day. It'll be a good day today. So, and our YouTube audience too. We want to say hi to them and we want to thank you for joining us in the sacred energy of circles today. And today you're going to be able to watch our evidential mediums as they connect with people who have crossed over to the other side and deliver messages from those people. And our hope is that by watching our mediums at work, you'll come to understand that the loved ones that you may have lost are, in fact, still with you. So, will you please join us as we open with a prayer? Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Please help us to open all of our senses, physical and spiritual, so that we can receive your messages without interference from our own minds. We humbly ask that you make this circle an uplifting and joyous experience for everyone in attendance. Please ask the spirits who recognize the voices in this room to join us this morning so that we will know that they watch over us, love us, and protect us still. And please allow us to deliver the information presented by Spirit with grace and compassion, with complete trust and respect of your infinite wisdom. Amen. All right. So, guess what? The two of us will be reading each other. So, you see, your internet is already going wonky, Joey.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
okay. So
Yeah.
the reason
Well,
probably,
hold on. Let's tell our YouTube audience this before. Joanne has an interesting phenomenon going on in her house. Whenever she reads, her internet suddenly goes crazy and her Zoom screen may freeze. And if so, she's going to shut her video off and continue her reading on audio only. So, but it's interesting how spirit will interfere with electricity like this. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, because it's showing that I have full power here and I have no internet problems. And then, yeah, and that happened the last time, which
Mhm.
I have
Yeah.
to, go with the flow here.
Right.
Spirits in control. So in saying that, oh my
Mhm.
goodness, Carol. You have a room full of spirit. It's funny that you said that because as soon as you said that, I have so many. I want one spirit to come forward and just let me mention who I sense, who uh I definitely have your mother here. I sense your father. I sense a musician in a prior life and a close coworker. That's who I sense.
Okay.
It's just a lot. And so I'm trying to I'm going to ask Spirit to come forward. And as soon as I said that, there is hmm, and this gentleman has come through before, and I'm going to ask him for new evidence because
Okay.
how I see him, but I believe he presented himself, so I know who he is, but I want him to bring forth new information. So as I'm blending with spirit and him blending with me, I know that he was a coworker. I know he was very smart. I know that he was a well dresser. He dressed really well. I know that oh, he's being funny. He's funny. Because as I'm saying, I know that. He tells me, I bet you didn't know. So, oh my goodness. Like, he can be like very funny. He's when I said that, what he showed me is that like a clown. It's funny because you know those little pinwheels, like or cones when you
Uh-huh.
bowl.
Yeah.
I saw him like juggling that, like, and in saying that, oh, okay, he juggled things very well. Like he had so many sides of him that he had to balance in this lifetime. Would you understand that around him? He had to he was very professional, very well dressed, but he had also this fun side of him
Okay.
And he,
As far as I know, this man's alive.
really? Okay.
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 As far as I know.
Okay. 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 If this gentleman's alive, I get a sense that he isn't, but he also had he's calling them field trips. Like he had did trips with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
It's interesting. Why would he? And this person's alive.
I haven't seen him since 1980. I don't know, but
Ah,
okay. I
okay. But he lived a double life. Would you understand that?
Oh, very much.
Okay. Okay. Um, mm. But he was fun. Like he was a lot of fun. There was
Mhm.
like, an exuberance about him, but he was very professional at work. And when he says field trips and he says girl trips with that. Because he had that quality about him. And um he definitely couldn't show that side at work because they wouldn't take him seriously. And he was very good at what he did, and he didn't want to obviously blend both worlds. Would you understand that with
I'd
him?
say that's true. Yeah.
Okay. And you're saying why? Oh my goodness. He's being funny. But I don't even, if he is alive, he's like checking, check the obituaries. Now it's saying my internet is, it's being unstable. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Um,
He's making a point.
um,
I'm gonna check.
I feel that he gave he gave a lot of himself. I feel that he was very charitable. And even though I felt like he made good money, I felt I feel that in a way he lived modestly. He preferred to live life. Would you understand that?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. I was just checking
Okay.
obituaries there.
Uh,
Sorry.
Hear the name Steve? Stephen?
There was a Steve. Yeah.
Okay.
Boy, this goes back so far.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
And just for my sake, was he another coworker, Steve?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. He was a little more serious than, than the gentleman I'm
Yeah.
bringing to the room. He's like, yeah, he was telling me he has a stiff upper lip. Yeah. But he had fun with, I like you. Okay. So what he's sharing me is both of you would like, talk and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was crazy times, yes.
Interesting. Yeah. And when you said that, he says those were the days. Butch, does that come to mind?
Not off the top of my
Or
head.
okay. I'm trying to get out of my head because when you said always try to connect with spirit. I don't want to feel like this is a psychic reading, and and okay. Oh, he's sharing with me. I feel that it's a gag gift under a Christmas tree. And it was a gift to you, and he's showing me the Christmas tree.
Yeah,
Understand that.
yeah, yeah.
And it was always of a shock value. Should I say that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh my goodness. He once say he had so much fun.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Um, he's so interesting. Like he had that like business side of him, but then he had this other side of him.
Hmm.
And because of that, you can have like deeper conversations and just go into things in depth with him. And he did that very well. And you were very open to that. So um, he's saying curiosity normally kills a cat, but not in your sake. Like, like I, because you're very curious. And he's definitely kind of saying he's encouraging you to keep moving forward and doing what you're.
You're breaking up. Turn your video off.
And if you need a laugh, oh, gosh. If you need a laugh, um, connect with him. Like, if you need a chuckle.
Okay.
And I feel your mother's coming through. So that's why I want to bring your mother through.
Okay.
And especially because of the holidays, I feel, oh, she's sharing with me that she's stepping forward a lot more because of tis the season, tis the season to be jolly. Fa la la la.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh my goodness, she had me singing. And so, oh my goodness, I'm hearing songs. Deck the halls. It's just showing me
Yeah.
all these songs. Um, oh my goodness. And just by doing that, I think why she's having me sing these songs. I don't have a great voice, but is that just singing those songs raises the frequency and of yourself and everyone around you. She saw the shift in everyone, and that's why it was her time of year because she was so tied up in everything. It was the only time that she had her family together and that she can do this. And it's sort of like, oh my goodness, it's beautiful. An energy that, oh my God, I'm getting chills, that you all felt. Like it was a synergy. That's something, a synergy. And it was magical for her because she was so busy with everything and
Yeah.
managing everything and everything. And it was just this time of year that she can definitely infuse that joy. And I'm getting chills as I'm saying this, Carol. It's going crazy. And hmm, Don't be discouraged. Turn that song on even louder when you hear someone tell you to turn it down, you know.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mom.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Hmm.
'Tis the season to be jolly.
Thank you, Mom. Okay. Oh my God. That's funny.
Is there Robert?
Um, not offhand.
Okay. Okay. How do I hear these names? What's coming through? Um, she's showing me your brother, and I feel that she would do a special activity with him around this time of year, that she would sit down with him. And I'm seeing she's showing me I don't know, pen and paper, and they're sort of drawing something, but I can't figure out the what they're drawing. But I feel like it was making something specifically uh, with your brother.
I don't remember, but
Okay.
I can ask him
Okay.
and put it in the notes afterwards.
Yeah. It's I felt like it was her way to also include him when he was younger in the activities. Um, because I felt like he needed more redirection than the other children. So
Hmm.
she would do that with him. He was very smart. I mean, he is very smart.
Yeah.
Your
Oh,
brother,
yeah.
very
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
And so it was more like it's interesting. It's sort of something he can do like lines, but it was I don't know if it's a wreath, but it's something he can do to keep his mind occupied while she was managing every all the other kids. That's what I'm feeling around the holidays, especially around the holidays, because she, um,
She would do that kind of thing with him, give him
oh,
something to keep his mind occupied. Yes.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. She's now showing me um, crystal, like they're like ice crystal ornaments, ice crystal ornaments. She's
Yeah.
showing me. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Um, I hear the song over and over again. Deck the halls with joy. As I'm tapping and I'm hearing the Christmas music over and over again. And the message is immerse yourself in all the joy there is. Because I am in every nuance of your life.
She is.
And the immerse yourself. I just feel like immerse yourself, especially during the holidays.
Wow.
Because what I'm getting is sort of like a frequency of alignment even more during that time.
Wow.
And and your grandmother saying, bake those cookies.
No,
I like those say gingerbread cookies, especially gingerbread.
she did. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bake the cookies.
Yeah.
And your father's just sending just like ripples of love. Like I feel he's showing me ripples of love to you. Ripples of love.
Oh, how
I
nice.
can see it like rippling, ripples of love.
Okay.
And give my big boy a hug.
Oh, I will do that.
And he wants to thank you for being a champ, for being there, supporting your brother.
Mhm.
When no one else stepped up, you did.
Mhm.
He wants to thank you for that. It eased his mind. It eased your mother's mind. When you would go in there and you would tie your brother's shoes when he couldn't,
Mhm.
he'd see those little moments in you.
Mhm.
He saw that like that brilliant star, that shining light in you. And he wished he can bottle that up and and, and spread it.
Oh,
And when I said that, he showed me lightning bugs in a jar.
absolutely. Yeah.
And and I love his energy. He's very calm. He's coming through. And I don't know how much time I have, Carol,
I
but
didn't set a timer because
uh,
it's only us.
okay.
So
Yeah. Um, he's now showing me I saw like sparkling lights and then I saw like fairies, like an ornament, like a fairy. Oh, fairy lights? I can't quite. Mm. Oh. So he has I think it affects your lights. People like he's showing me that like these fairy lights that you have are sticking
yeah,
a
I
little bit.
do. I have fairy lights.
But
Yes.
sometimes they glitch.
Yeah, it's true.
Uh, yeah, yeah. Just letting you know we're here and he's there whenever you see that. It might happen a little more this time.
That would be nice. Watch for those
Yes,
signs. Absolutely.
especially during this time of year. What's so beautiful in that sense I'm getting is that spirit can affect, and he's sharing with me that the electric grids, because we're energy.
Uh-huh.
And
Exactly.
he's saying if we can let our loved ones know that we're still around, we're just energy. It's showing it's like electric current, and it's showing just a fraction of what our love is.
Wow.
And we can emit it through light.
Mm.
It's fun that way. I'm going to leave your parents and your friend who we don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't want to say anything and be wrong, but
I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, these loved ones who wanted to show up today to
Oh,
show you that they're near and dear, and they want to applaud you and commend you for the courage and the strength and the persistence of moving forward and the passion and the drive to be consistent.
wow. It's good
Because
to know.
yeah, because it just demonstrates that we're not alone and we are connected. We're always connected. It's just turning on that dial.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I'll leave them. Their love with you.
Oh, thank you, Joanne. That was beautiful. I really appreciate it. uh, and so, for the benefit of our YouTube audience now, watch Joanne for the rest of this live stream, okay? And you're going to see her internet works fine now that she's not connected to spirit. But when she gets in there with spirit, man, they really and it's the energy is
Mm-hmm.
exactly what it is, okay, that she was talking about. The energy actually interferes with the electrical in her computer. But so feedback, okay, first of all, the coworker that goes back to 1980, and literally I've not seen him for almost 50 years, so I don't know whether he's alive or not. I tried to look up his obituary real quick, and I inadvertently hit he has a somewhat common name, and I hit one, and I hit a funeral home that broadcasted music, when you hit the obituary, and that was when you heard the music
Oh.
in there. And so I said, okay, I better not do this while she's reading, because this might not go well. So I will have to check afterwards, to see
Mm-hmm.
if he's crossed over. But to respond about your information that you got, you're 100% correct. And he had these two very distinct sides. And one side, he was very smart, so smart, in fact, that he actually ended up on the cover of a national business magazine for something very, very innovative that he did. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one side of him. And then on the other side, okay, he was nuts, just absolutely nuts. Okay. And and part of it was is he was Irish. Okay. And so we actually got St. Patrick's Day off as a company holiday. Okay. But he shut the office down at noon the day before St. Patrick's Day, and we all had to go to the bar and drink Irish whiskey with him. And like, I'm not a drinker, okay? It was like I'd have one and I'd be on the floor, but he could drink and drink and drink, and he was just crazy and really into the whole St. Patrick's Day thing. And the funnier thing too was talking about taking the girls on road trips. Okay. And that was a brilliant piece of evidence, because the client base that we had were literally scattered all across the state. Okay. And he talked about my curiosity. And one of the things that I brought up to him at one point was, I said, I'm really not comfortable doing this kind of work when I don't understand, the technical nature of what it is that these people are doing. Like I said, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not serving them well. And so he took all the girls, okay, who weren't familiar with that kind of work, literally all around the state, to see our clients, so that we could see what they did and we could better understand them, what they needed when they called into the office and they needed us to do something. So that was very, very funny, very, very telling. My mom, I'm always so happy to hear from my mom, especially around Christmas, because she she was raised during the Depression and never had like toys at all. They had no money for toys when she was growing up. And, I think she got her first toy when she was like 12, something, it was really not what we're used to today. But when she became an adult, I think she kind of overcompensated for, for that. And she was so over the top about Christmas. And that I really miss. I
Mm,
really miss that, because nobody had the spirit like my mom does. And I've been trying, but nobody will play with me, It's just like, oh man, it's just like sometimes you just want to give up, when you sit there and you try to, come on, people, sing, and they won't, it's like, oh, come on, but that was super, super to hear from her. And my dad, always great to hear from my dad. You're right, he was completely different than she was. And his energy was very peaceful and calm and this kind of stuff. But I loved what he said about our energy, the fact that they're just energy and they're right there with us because we're also energy, which
mhm,
I 100% believe that. And that's one of the great things. I am so grateful for being a medium because I can recognize that and I can I guess I'm going to use the word settle myself to a point where I can feel that vibration, and that is the feel of spirit. Do you feel that same way? Like it's almost like you operate on two different levels or something. Like, again, call it like your day to day
yeah,
normal, and
yeah.
then when you actually go into a reading, like I feel different,
Oh yeah.
you know, and that different feeling is so you feel the same thing
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah. And that's why
Okay.
I love being a medium is connecting with spirit.
Yeah.
'Cause you have to raise your vibration in order to meet spirit. So, and you have to be grounded once to live in this world, or else you'd be dropping everything in sight. I know I have. My family, especially my daughters, will notice, Mom, are you grounded? I'm like, oh, I gotta ground myself because forget things, I drop things, and yeah, yeah.
Well, you're bringing up the term grounding. Let's talk about this for our YouTube audience, okay? Can you explain to our YouTube audience what it means to be grounded?
Mm, yeah. And being that I wasn't grounded for most of my life. So a lot of to be grounded is intentionally ground your energy. You can do it by walking barefooted outside, hugging a tree. And we need to ground our because we're energy beings. It goes
Mhm.
if I can remember just a little bit what your father said, we're energy beings. And so we have to ground our energy to the earth. And what happens is, in most time, in my case, in most of my life, I was ungrounded, especially because trauma can happen. You sort of check out. And sometimes it's so much easier to be out of your body
Yeah,
than
you're
in
like,
your body.
bleh, if you're not grounded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it also grounds your thoughts. I mean, so that you're not so scattered and
Right.
thinking this, that, or the other. So it settles you down. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But what do you suggest they do? It's winter right now. What do you suggest people do if, they can't
Med-
walk outside
yeah.
barefoot?
Meditation. Meditation. There's meditations to ground too. You
Okay.
can intentionally ground. Um, I used to offer that. I had a Joyful Empath support group, and it was just a quick meditation to sort of intentionally ground your energy. Um, Also, oh, there was grounding mats, which I have not used.
I
People say,
have. I'm glad you brought it up. That
okay.
and there's grounding mats and grounding sheets as well that you can
Mm-hmm.
sleep on. So and the way that they work, they actually plug into a wall socket, but they don't plug into the two-prong thing where you plug in an electrical cord. They plug into the third one, which is the grounding outlet. Okay. And then what happens is that all of that energy, leaves you and it goes into the ground through the grounding outlet, which is kind of neat. But I got mine on Amazon, so
Uh-huh.
very easily available. But I love them, and strongly recommend them. So.
Oh, okay, I got to get one. I mean, here I am saying that to get one.
Yeah, heck yeah, yeah, yeah. Having used both the ground and the mat, or the sheets and the mats, I tend to get tangled up in the sheets, because I just move around a lot at night. But the mat is nice because you can just sit at your desk and put your feet on it, and you
Uh-huh.
don't think about it. So that's what works for me. But whatever works for you is good. But
Yeah.
okay, well, let's also talk about, we talked about, you brought up the word vibration and changing your vibration, and I want to talk to our YouTube audience a little bit about that. And because it's like people say that, and what do you mean? And if anybody has ever had the opportunity to work with an old-fashioned radio where you dial the knob like this, and you're trying to get your channel, and you hear like this, and then all of a sudden you get that knob to the exact right position, and the channel comes in loud and clear. Okay. And that's what raising your vibration does. Because when you are not at the optimal vibration, you can get little bits of spirit, like just like a vague thing, like a smell, a quick smell, something
Mhm.
like that, or like you feel that there is a loved one beside you, but you don't get anything else. Like it's just these little things that keep happening. Okay, you can grow those by changing your vibration to a better frequency. Okay. And like I said, and when you do that, it's a process. You have to learn to dial it in to the correct frequency. But if that happens to you, if you have a spiritual experience where, you know, you smell something, you hear something, you uh, feel it or whatever, okay, take note of what you were doing and how you felt, because that's your starting point, okay, is
Mhm.
being there. At least, for me anyway. What do you think, Joanne, about raising your vibration?
Yeah, I have a different story altogether, but
Okay,
yeah.
good. Yeah, bring it on.
Well, no, I mean, I was always connected since very little, but that had to do with
Okay.
anyway, trauma that had, but I've always connected. So my whole thing was grounding. Grounding my energy was very crucial.
Okay.
I hadn't done that until I was in my 40s. Obviously, everyone has to be grounded. You sort of touch down. You touch down when you're angry or whatever. And being angry is not bad. Taking your energy out, expressing it is not bad. We have to do that. We don't want to get stuck in our bodies. But to be grounded and to be connected is totally different. So to be connected to spirit, we have to raise our vibration. So when we're done, we have to then connect our energy back down to the earth so
Mhm.
that it also helps what is it called? It affects our adrenal system if we're always connected. So that's why you feel anxiety all the time because you're picking up on things.
I
We're
don't know why.
born, we are all born intuitive. So when you're constantly picking up on things and you're not realizing you are, grounding will help with that.
Okay. And I'm glad you brought up the anxiety issue, because I'm going to go off the rails for a little bit and talk about that, because I actually participate in a study at Yale, and there's hundreds of mediums involved in this, but um, what they're trying to figure out is why what makes us different from schizophrenics, because when you think about it, um, they hear voices in their heads and they're crazy. Now we hear voices in our heads, and we go, "Mom, how are you?" And
Mhm.
like, oh, how does that happen? Because we both are hearing the same things. And so if you have like a loved one who has anxiety about
Mhm.
something like this, really think about that. Step back. Are they receiving messages from the other side?
Mhm.
You know, and
It could
and
be, well, you're receiving energy, especially if you're an empath, you're highly sensitive.
you
You're
receive the
receiving
energy. Yeah.
information from everything because everything has
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sadly enough, I hate to say it, the medical field is going to say, oh, you're schizophrenic, and then they want to put you on medicine, but um don't overlook this, especially with children, because children are super, super intuitive.
Oh,
Okay. And, and I'm not a doctor and, but I'll say, maybe you need to look at both ideas as possibilities. Okay. Um, you know, because, one is mental illness and the other is a great place to be. It's a very happy place to be, when
mhm,
you are able to talk freely, with your loved ones on the other side.
mhm. I don't, it's funny that you mentioned that, but I don't even think about that anymore. They used to put people though who were very intuitive in loony bins, right? And
Oh, I
they
know they did. Yeah.
institutionalized them
Yeah.
and so many other things.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it was concerning, and that's why people didn't want to come out
Yeah.
to express that they could communicate with spirit and they sensed everything. But we all do to one degree. We just numb it down. We're
Yeah.
told to numb it down.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to see if I can grab a spirit for you, Joanne. Give me a second
Okay.
here and let's see who's out here for you. I'm going to pin your video so I look right at you. Ooh, okay. So, and it's the same with you. You've got a lot of people turning up here uh, at the holiday season. And um, I feel like I have your sister here, your mother here, and a man whose relationship I'm not sure of just yet, but he's on the shorter side and stocky. Um, and he feels like a family member. Do you know the shorter, stocky guy in family?
Ah, I know shorter, but not really stocky, but
Okay.
shorter.
Okay. Maybe I'm using the wrong word. It's like he's not doesn't have the bicycle build. He's more muscular. Okay. Seems to be working with his body. Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can see that a little bit. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. All right. So let me start with I'm going to start with your sister here. Okay. And she's coming in and she's wearing um a lace like prayer shawl over her head. Okay. And she is coming in like she is prepping for almost like a religious holiday outside of Christmas. I don't know. Maybe it is Christmas. But it feels to me like um, like in my world, it would be kind of the way that someone would look if they were going to like a candlelight service on Christmas Eve, okay,
Hmm.
at the church. But it feels religious and holiday combined. Okay, so you understand that about her with the lace on the head.
I can see her growing up very religious. Yeah. And excuse me. I don't know about the lace, but I understand what you're saying. Like the
Okay.
Virgin Mary with the the lace and
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about this because it's like an image she's giving me. The other thing she's doing is she's carrying a taper candle. Okay, which I know uh, I'm sure her house had electricity, but she for some reason she's carrying a taper candle. So let me look into it and see what this is. Okay, this is going to confuse our YouTube audience because this, I think, is highly symbolic. Unless it is a memory, we'll find out. Okay, but she is actually walking toward um, what looks like, oddly enough, Bethlehem. Okay, with there's a star in the sky, and she's like walking toward the nativity in Bethlehem. Okay,
Mhm.
so okay, so you understand her having an attachment to uh, the birth of the Christ child.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Okay, all right. This is this is really strange, but but for the benefit of our YouTube audience, no matter how strange it seems to us, we have to get out of thinking that it's strange and just relay what spirit wants to show us. Okay, so she wants me to show her walking to Bethlehem with a taper candle in her hand. What is she doing? Okay, and now she is coming into the manger. Okay, and she's kneeling down before the baby in the nativity scene. Okay, and oh goodness, she is she is doing this because she wants you to tell you that she has met Jesus.
Hmm. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
when she was living. Yes.
Are you
Had a
serious?
near-death experience. Yes.
Oh my. Okay, I didn't know this. Okay,
Yes.
I know. So she's met Jesus. Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I got to collect myself. Jeez. Whew. That's some, wow, that's a heady experience. Uh, and so she's talking about meeting Jesus being a life-changing event for her. Okay. Uh, she's using the word clarity and
Hmm.
saying that she saw everything that everyone did with so much more clarity after she met Jesus, and um, she came to recognize what was important and what was not. Okay, and she told you this. She knew what was important and what was not.
No, but we never had that conversation, but I just knew it. I mean, just the way she lived her life. Hmm.
Okay, all right. So she knew what was important.
Hmm.
Okay, and so she's talking to you about this. Okay, and, and she's kind of laughing and she's saying, so don't, learn this the way that I did, first of all. Okay, but she's saying that you know, she's saying that you need to reassess your priorities. Okay. And do what she did and learn what is important. Okay. Uh, she's talking about you wasting your time in work that is not um, worthy of you. But she didn't say it quite that way. It was a little sharper. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And for the benefit of our YouTube audience, okay, like sometimes you have to put a filter on, what they say and just do your best to convey the gist of it. And, but yeah, so she's saying that you're wasting your time for something that is not worthy of you. And she's talking about service, okay, and the fact that this is very spiritual message. Okay, so she's talking about like the work that you're doing now does not elevate your soul. Okay, um, you know, for lack of a better term, okay, if you're looking to um, get higher, okay, closer to God, this kind of stuff. She's saying that what you're doing now is not helping you with that. Okay. And she wants you to back off and focus on the work that you can do that will bring you higher to God. Okay. All right. So this is her message for you. Okay. So, and I thank you for that stunning imagery. That was kind of jaw dropping. Okay, but now I want to talk to mom, see what mom has to say. Okay. And mom is coming in with a rose. All of a sudden, is there a rose around her?
No, but When I think of my mom, I think of a rose.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's the rose. Okay. Uh,
And my daughter's middle name is name Rose.
oh, okay. Okay. All right. And she's coming in with like a whole different take on the holiday season. Like she's coming in and she's actually going with Santa Claus rather than the Christ child. Okay, so she's got like a suddenly a more like commercial perspective than your sister did. Okay, and I want to see what she's got to say about Santa. And so she's talking about actually balance, okay, at the holidays, okay. And what she's saying to me is that the way that she wanted to raise you, okay, she wanted to you to understand the importance, the religious significance of the holiday. Okay. In the scales are coming in here with balance. Okay. So there's religious significance on one side. Okay. And then on the other side, there's Santa Claus. Okay. And and this has to do with gifting. Gifting. She taught you how to gift. Like she taught you that it was more important to give than receive. Is this what it is? Okay. All right. And so her focus for you was not on your own commercialism, but being like a Santa to other people.
Mhm.
Correct? Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. How interesting. Uh, she's showing me baking. What the heck is this? It almost looks like a cookie, sort of, but it has powdered sugar on it. She baked something with powdered sugar.
Trying to remember. I mean, she made a lot of things, but
Okay. All right. I just asked her to show me what she did around the holidays, and she's showing me, with that shaker that people dump powdered sugar on baked goods. Um, and she's showing me a big bowl of lemons. And she used lemons in her cooking.
no, I do.
You do.
Oh,
Oh,
no. I like lemon in my water. But go
oh,
ahead. No,
okay.
no,
That's
but
a
go
big
ahead
bowl
about
of
that.
lemon. Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect. All right.
No. I mean that
Okay.
I'll tell you about the lemon.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then suddenly she popped in with this big bowl of lemons. Let's see what else she wants to see. Okay. She's talking about one Christmas being hard, um, because somebody, um, somebody had passed somewhat recently around the holidays,
Mhm,
and there was a more difficult Christmas. Would you understand that?
mhm. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else she wants to say. She's talking about your dog. Okay. And she's talking about you would buy gifts for your dog for Christmas.
I
And
would.
okay, and she would buy gifts for your dog as well.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me see what this is. Oh, she's talking about these presents for the dog. Okay. And I can't get it. I don't know. I don't understand that spirit. Give me something else. Um, she's kind of going all over the place. This is funny. Um, did she at one point in her life use one of those old style washing machines that had the ringers?
Mhm.
Did she really? Okay. What do you want to show me about the washing machine? Okay. She's talking about how life was like there was so much more work back in those days when she had that washing machine and you know and she's actually saying that you're lucky because like things have gotten so automated that you can actually work outside the house now if you want. Okay. Um, see what else she wants to say. Okay. She's showing me what looks like it might be an a homebrewed alcoholic beverage of some sort. Okay. Um, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. Like it almost looks like a liqueur or something like that. Did she make liqueur or something? Receive it as a gift?
Mm. I know a story about alcohol. Mm.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, okay, we'll save that for feedback then. Okay. Move on. Let's see what else she wants to talk about. And all of a sudden we're talking about billy goats. Okay. Did she have a contact with a goats at some point?
Um, no, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay. All right.
No, yeah, uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to just check in with her and see what message she has for you. Um, okay. Her message is all kitchen based. She wants you to get in the kitchen and get to work. But she
Not
says
gonna happen, Mom.
but she says it all with love and affection. But she's pointing to the kitchen, kind of
Yeah.
like sternly but jokingly. Okay, and she's get to work.
I do, but it's not somewhere I'd rather be doing crafts or something. But
Oh
yes,
my
I
gosh,
do.
that's
Yeah.
funny. Wow, yeah, yeah. Get to work, Joanne. Okay, get to work. Okay, and I'm going to leave you that with light and love. And thanks for letting me serve spirit.
Oh, thank you, Carol. Oh my goodness. God, I wish I had written everything down, but think about my sister hmm, that you brought through. Yes, she had a near
She
death
she had a
experience,
near death experience. I had no idea. Okay,
and what she referred to, which I never like questioned her, I just listened. But this is her expression. She says she met the Lord. That's how she expressed it. I met
okay,
the Lord and I did not want to go back, but he
yeah.
told me I needed to come back. And and then all of a sudden she felt herself in her body. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
interesting.
sure she saw things differently, but it's interesting. They didn't talk about all those nuances and things. And maybe she shared that with my mom because she was really close with my mom. And mind you, my sister was, she can be my mother. She was 20 years older than me. So,
Hmm.
um, but that was a very, you got that, like a very important thing that happened and life altering event. Yes.
Wow.
So,
Okay. All right.
I mean, she's very faithful and didn't question her faith at all.
Did the near death experience make her more faithful? Do you know or
I think she always had been that way, but I think that probably, I never had those
amended it?
conversations only that she shared that with me.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and yeah, she's very intuitive.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll share. I don't want to share just in case she brings other stuff and I could share that bit. So,
Okay.
what else about my sister? I think that was a major one right there. And
Yeah. Yeah. That was
oh,
pretty
and
much.
about the job, really, like I understand that. Like, okay, tell me what, well, I was on my path.
Yeah.
And I plan on getting there, but I try to see it. I'm still serving others and doing my job, but not quite the way I want to serve.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
So, but I am doing anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
Encouragement from the other side
Yes.
to do more important work, I guess. Or
Yes. And as far as what me, I don't know about that mean when she says the true meaning of life. I do know the true meaning of life. And I think it's hard because I do know to not be in alignment to what I really want to do. That's really hard. And that's what anyway, we won't go into that
okay.
entirely.
Ooh.
But yes,
All right.
yes. Um, so as far as oh, difficulty, my mother, it was her passing. I was pregnant with my second child, and it was very difficult. It was the first year, and I couldn't. Anyway, it
Um,
was very hard. It was my mom. Lemons. So one time I use lemon in my water, but I decided to do. I'm not the best cook, and I use lemons in the recipe, but I used too many lemons that I destroyed this food. My mother's an incredible cook. Anyway, so just the lemon, sheer mention of lemons, my whole family will laugh, well, because, man's like, did you try to kill us? It's just awful.
nice. Jeez. Oh my gosh.
So that, and, oh, very, like, this is the thing that I always say, my mother would, because like, if you complained about doing laundry, she says, what are you complaining about? The machine does it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That was her thing. So you nailed that one. Like, what are you complaining about? You're not washing, wringing, doing all that stuff. The machine does the work for you.
Oh my gosh.
No complaining about that.
Oh, she was on a tear. That's
Oh
funny.
yeah. Oh yeah. Um, the alcohol had to do with something more serious. I think my mother had to very rough upbringing. Well, won't go into all the details, but I think she had to sell alcohol because my father's alcohol, he's an alcoholic, to bring in money. And this is what my sister
It
had.
looked homemade, though. Is that
I
or
don't know if it was homemade, but I think she would put it in like this to make it go far. I think she would put it in different,
different bot? Okay. Yeah. Okay. That now
uh,
that makes sense. It looks smaller and yeah. Okay. Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Because and it wasn't my mother that shared that with me, it was my sister that you brought through. She's the one who shared that story with me.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that until later. Um, the goats, just a sheer mention of goats. When I visited the first time in Puerto Rico, there was these goats that I saw. And the funny thing about that, if it ever comes up again, whatever, they had told me to get grounds of coffee. Go get the grounds of coffee. And I'm like, as a kid, those grounds of coffee look like the goat's dunk.
Oh, oh,
Was like,
oh no.
I'm not picking that. And it was funny because, and my mother started laughing hysterically. So just the sheer mention of goats, that is the
His
story.
inside joke. Okay. I get it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's
I
funny.
was a kid. I didn't know the difference. I was 7. I've never seen a goat. They told me to get, and we're talking Puerto Rico, so I never had seen goats. And I see this like grounds of coffee that look very similar.
Wow. Okay. Jeez.
Anyway, so they just laugh. So, what's the other thing? Uh, getting, uh, oh, what was the other thing? I can't even read my handwriting. Oh, get in the kitchen, of course. My mother felt like, oh, she was an awesome cook. So, she would always tell me, "You're gonna suffer, if you don't learn how to cook." And I'm like, I'm never gonna suffer. I
Yeah, it
did.
was like a joke thing. Get in the kitchen,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
But she was definitely old generation, very stereotypical old generation, women in the kitchen, doing everything, serving, their husbands and everything. So, and I was not that way. So she got a kick out of that too when I would tell her. So,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, that
So
was
thank
great.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, definitely, yeah, he brought both my sister and my mom through, and and it's not surprising that, they come to through together because they were really close
I
also.
was really surprised at the difference in the information that they presented, because when your sister, and I'll tell our YouTube audience honestly that like I was really kind of like fighting to push the logic away because I saw her walking, with this candle toward what was very clearly the Star of Bethlehem in the manger. And I was like, I know she wouldn't have done that, but you have to kind of get that out of your head and run with
He
it.
might have done that in one of the Catholic services. Yeah.
Well, no, it was like the
Yeah, no,
real,
yeah. No,
okay,
no,
well,
no, but she might have done that. You know what I mean? So,
okay, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
but I understand what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So it was just kind of interesting to, you know, see spirit works in odd ways, okay? And they will give the medium present the information to the medium in a way that they think the medium will understand it. And to give you an example of that, I rarely, very rarely, bring in spirits who have crossed over because of drug issues, because that is just not my world. Okay. And like if the spirit came and showed me a pile of drug paraphernalia, I wouldn't even know what it was, and I would say something stupid like, oh, that house is so dirty. There's all this trash laying around. And my sitter would not understand the relevance of that comment. Okay.
Mhm.
But when, Joanne's sister showed me the story of her carrying the candle toward the Star of Bethlehem, she put that in a context that made me kind of put the information in a way that Joanne understood it, So spirit is truly miraculous in the way that they deliver information.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
are.
They know how we work.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, exactly. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
do you have stuff like that you just can't get information on? Do you think, or
Well, I don't know if I can't, but I know that I think we've talked about this. Like, I do not want to know the details of how they pass. Like, if it's
me too?
important, then share. Like, if it's important to the sitter, if it's going to be healing to the sitter, let me know. But I just know that I know it would re-traumatize me. I don't want to know the gory details of it because I know they already suffered, and it's hard for me because it's hard to witness your loved one already. I don't want to be brought through the whole process again. I know that they're whole now, and that's what I want to hear, like messages that could be healing and uplifting. And but some people need to hear that. They need to know that yes, they experienced this and now they're in a better place. But I think that sometimes I don't, I try not to lean towards that. But as far as I'm thinking, Carol, I think that if the sitter in front of us needed to know, like if that person was a drug person, they would bring it. You may not know all the nuances, but I think spirit would present information to you that you'd be able to deliver and know that that person had a drug issue.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
not with all those, yeah, not with all those other things because we don't have that in our awareness and our consciousness. And yeah,
yeah, but you're bringing up a good point. The ultimate question is whether or not it's healing to the sitter. And I actually witnessed a gallery reading, which is a public reading with many people in attendance, where the medium started talking about a car accident, and he actually said in the reading that the spirit had been decapitated. And
Oh,
I I had the same reaction that Joanne did. I was horrified, you know. Um, and it's funny how people react differently to that, because that medium thought that that was an okay thing to say. Um, but if I had been the sitter, that would have been, like Joanne used the word, traumatizing. That would have been traumatizing for me.
mhm.
To hear that over again and in a public setting like that. So,
Yeah. I don't know about your mentors, but my mentors have always shared me just because you know it doesn't mean you have to share it. And
mhm,
and it's part of also a certified life coach, done coaching. You have to be very mindful of your words. You have
mhm,
to ask permission before you deliver the information. And some of it can be very traumatizing. They've already experienced whatever the death and how they passed. Do they really need to relive it? Because I really do feel as a medium is to uplift the sitter, not to bring it, to re-traumatize them. But maybe if like for instance, if I knew that, I would say, well, this person died in a very traumatic way.
yeah, yeah. And that is the way
You
that I
don't,
would say it. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was a violent death,
Advance.
something
Yeah,
like something like
exactly.
this. Okay, but that is where I would leave it.
Mhm.
I would never ever, give a detail
Yeah,
like that.
because
So,
a person probably needs to know that, like, but that's it. Because my whole thing is, what's the reasoning behind that? Did the sitter need to really hear that detail?
right.
And I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that for someone else because I think just by telling them if they've had a very traumatic passing,
Hmm.
that in itself, the sitter would know. But then maybe you can say some other, like it was a car accident, very traumatic.
Hmm.
That could be good enough, even though you can see all the details. Because, yeah, I mean, I once was told about, a loved one of mine and details, and I'm like, oh, I did not need to know that because it was already, and even now, after several years, knowing it was very traumatizing for me and my family to know how they passed, but to actually for the medium to share every nuance of what they were experiencing when they were doing it was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
don't need that
yeah.
because
Don't do that.
I don't feel that's healing if that's not everything. It's just bringing up the old memory and that hurt as, that your loved one had experienced that, which we're human. We know, yes, we transcend and you're on the other side, but we're still living this life and we still feel those nuances and those feelings and those memories that are brought up and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
All right.
I just feel like you just have to be very mindful of your words and
Very.
what we do is very delicate.
Hmm.
And um and for myself, it's always for the person's best and highest good. And oh, I want to mention this. In saying that, just like the last time, as I sure said, is that sometimes the best and highest good can also be triggering for the sitter
Hmm.
because they want them to address whatever that is. But that doesn't mean what we were just recently talking about, something or describing something, for the traumatic passing. It's totally different, but in the same vein, like we have to trust spirit that what we're bringing forward is going to be healing for the sitter, right? I mean, that's my intention anyway.
100%. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, great work today, Joanne. It's a fun day. A lot of
Yeah.
new stuff we brought on today. So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of fun. We want to thank our YouTube audience for stopping in and sitting with us this morning, and hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like and subscribe on our channel. We're likely going to have, well, we will have a broadcast on the 20th of December, but Not sure yet about the 27th. We'll let you know definitely next week whether that's going to happen or not. But I'm going to close this down with a prayer. If everyone would join me, please. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Thank you for this gift of mediumship that you've given us, and allow us to use this precious gift to help others who need your healing and love. Bless our friends and loved ones and protect them from sickness and harm. Bring joy into the lives of people who have sorrow, health into the lives of people who have illness, and abundance to the lives of people who have little. Thank you for the lessons that you have given us today, and help us to continue to build a relationship with you that is based on love and trust. And always, please help us to be the lights that change this world for the better. Amen. All right. Thanks for stopping in. See you next week. Bye-bye now.